Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We're going to do another video today, and this one's going to be an interesting one on mediation. I'm actually going to be heading out to a pretty significant mediation today, and I figured, it would give me an opportunity to talk about how I prepare for a mediation, what I think about as I'm on my way there, and then after the mediation is over, I'll fill you in on what happened, if there were any unique circumstances that came up, and give you a better understanding of how sort of the inner workings of a mediation pans out, because it's so easy to talk about what is mediation, but I'm going to try to give you some insight as to what went on today as I move through the mediation, move through the day, and I'll fill you in. All right, for those of you who don't know, my name is Peter Lamont, and I'm a New Jersey business, contract, real estate, and litigation attorney, and I typically represent businesses of all sizes, from small companies to entrepreneurs, and part of that involves litigation, because while we all hope it doesn't happen, in general and unfortunately, when you're dealing with business, you are at some point going to likely find yourself in a litigation situation, whether it's somebody demanding something from you or blaming you for something. So I think it's just par for the course, and it's tough for young entrepreneurs to kind of realize that despite their best efforts, bad things happen, and you just have to adjust and deal with it. All right, so what I want to do right now is I want to just give you some insight into my preparation for the mediation. And if you've watched my other videos, you know that the difference between mediation and arbitration is that mediation is non-binding. Mediation is an attempt for parties, two or more parties, to sit down with a neutral third party and try to work out the differences. Now, in my case today, I represent a client who is suing another company, and the company is made up of multiple people. We are going to be going in for a mediation, and we're going to be doing that before a retired judge. And that's commonplace. Most of the time in the commercial litigation setting, meaning a business dispute, you're going to find yourself with options to choose mediators, most of whom are retired judges, or they could be businessmen that are maybe certified for mediation. But in our case, we're going to be mediating this case with the assistance of a retired judge. Basically, like everything in business, the dispute is about money. And right now, my client and the other parties are so far apart that it's going to be interesting to see if we can make any headway towards resolving this case, because my client is demanding a certain number and the other side is rejecting it completely and then refusing to provide a counteroffer. So normally, if you go into a mediation and the two sides are so far apart, you're not going to have a great deal of success, but we'll see what happens, and I'll fill you in later. As far as preparation for today goes, and preparation for the mediation, yesterday I reviewed the file. I made some bullet point notes as to what the key points that I want to get across to the mediator today. Now remember, the mediator is not there to be a judge and decide whether or not your claim has merit or whether or not you can prove your case. They're not really looking at an analysis of the evidence. They're going to look at some of that to kind of get a handle on what the potential value of your case is. But really what you want to do is you want to establish with the mediator the basis for your claim, so that he or she understands why he should get the both sides to settle. So if you go in and you're not focused, you're not giving the mediator the key facts, he or she is not going to have the ability to fully understand what your claim is. And when they don't understand your claim, it makes it nearly impossible for them to convince the other side that it would be in their best interest to settle. Remember, settlement is not necessarily an admission of wrongdoing. 99.9% of cases that settle, when there's a settlement agreement, there's always some sort of disclosure or disclaimer where you lay out the fact that you're not admitting liability and that the only reason you're settling is to avoid the expense and hassle of litigation. So getting the key points across to the judge or to the mediator is critical. And in my case, I have 3 main points that I want to establish. So I'm going to leave out a lot of the superfluous details, and I'm just going to give them the 3 facts. I'm going to tell him, listen, you know, Judge, even though he's retired, you still call him Judge. Judge, here are the primary points of my case. You know, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to conclude with, you know, and for that reason, we believe the case has merit, so on and so forth. And then I'm going to turn it back to him. So, aside from reviewing the file and making sure that I understand my 3 critical points, or however many points you might have, then I spoke with my client and I went through the entire mediation process with him. Now, this is the 2nd time that I've done it because I believe that, you know, repetition is extremely important. You want your client, or if you're preparing, you know, yourself, you want yourself to have a full handle on your case. I don't, when I make a presentation, whether it's in court or to a mediator, I don't read a script that I've written. I don't, you know, look at cue cards or anything like that. I make it up on the fly, and it's made up based around the facts that I've committed to memory. So I don't have to review something I've written down. Half the time I find myself writing down things, and all it really does is reinforce my understanding of the materials that I want to present. So I don't want to say necessarily memorize it, but understand your facts so that you don't need to look at something on paper. You can just, you know, explain it. I'll do another video on my way into the mediation, and I'll talk a little bit more about the mediation statement, what it is, how you prepare it, what you should put in it. And so over the course of the next few videos, we're kind of going to explore a hands-on mediation experience. All right, so stick around, make sure you watch the next few videos if you're interested in mediation and you want to learn more about it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you tell your friends about it, share the video, like the video, and comment. I always respond to every comment that's posted, and it really is nice to see the interaction that we have with the viewers. And I'm here to answer questions. So if you have questions and you want to put them in the comments, and I'll do another video about that topic, or if you've got questions about mediation, please don't hesitate to ask. You can always give me a call at the office too. It's 201-904-2211, or you could email me directly at pl@pjlesq.com. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit.